Y'all, we're back with some of the clearest UFO sightings ever, starting with one in Colombia. Now, I love this video because it's filmed by a pilot in a cockpit, and I feel that they are less likely to fake it or even want to fake this, as it's more for safety regulations for them to fly. And in this video, you can see what looks like a sphere or even a cube within a sphere because it did seem to have points. This fighter jet video is from the USA, and it appears to be a tic-tac zipping over the water. I mean, this thing is going fast, and air resistance means nothing to it. I love this video. Here we have another laser pointer video, and I like these because we get to see the subject in the sky trying to avoid the laser pointer. However, I have pointed out and seen that these could be bats. They have been before, just trying to avoid the laser so they can stay on their flight path, which I respect. I love this. Now, this is definitely, you can tell it's metallic. It's definitely tic-tac shape. Look how it changes direction. It looks like a metal pipe. And look how fast it actually went. Vroom. That's how fast it went. That is wild. Here in Italy, we have this strange light in the sky. Now, it's making some weird motions as the camera moves. But when he zooms in, you'll see that it actually opens almost like a portal, if you will. Look at this. Look at this. And then it closes back up. That is wild. And I haven't seen like a ring portal this clear from someone's phone, meaning we do have the capability to capture it, okay? But I love it. Look at that. Look at that. And you can see how when it closes, like the energy almost like snaps together like a rubber band and kind of wobbles a little bit. Insane. Here's another clear UFO video, this one coming from England. Now, a lot of these UFOs, I definitely feel that they are interstellar or interdimensional travelers. However, I do feel that some of these instruments could possibly be probes. Like the one that we just saw in England, it kind of looks like this one in the USA, right? Do you see how it's like a metal tube or a metal pipe? This one too in Spain. These could be probes. Maybe they're testing the air. Maybe they have cameras in. I mean, we don't know. They're, if they are extraterrestrials or interdimensional, they're much more advanced than us, and they're way above what we're going to be thinking about. But this does not look like a transportation vehicle to me. Granted, I'm not an alien, so I don't know how I would travel, but that looks more like a pod that's doing research. This is cool. We can see a lot of UFOs and UAPs flying to and from volcanoes and mountains. I love that we got to see this one coming from the sky and then do that sharp turn. Look at it leave. Look at it leave. That is a UAP UFO. That was anomalous. This was captured in the USA. It's apparently two fighter jets chasing an orb. Now, I've seen a lot of these turn out to be fake, but this looks more like a happenstance video. Like, didn't necessarily mean to record. In this one in the US, we can actually see a chemtrail zipping upward and a dark object, kind of looks like it has four sides, dropping from the sky. It could have been a drone, but I love how this dude sees the guy standing where it was. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to close my window. I'm out of here. Here we have another supposed video of fighter jets chasing an orb. I like these. Again, we've seen some fake ones, but I like them because if they are legit, then we have some really clear footage. This is one of the most famous UFO sightings. This is the UFO sighting in Turkey, where the UFO got so close and the person was able to get their camcorder, not just record the object itself, but record an opening in the object from which we can see, apparently, the beings that are driving this vehicle. And if you see, like we can see here in their image, it's a little blurry, but they do resemble closely the Greys and these aliens that we are used to. So I find that to be very, very fascinating, and it is yet to be debunked. Here we have one from Jeremy Corbell. He is checking. Look at all these things popping up on the radar. I'm sorry, if I were flying, and all of a sudden all these little objects boop, 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 pop, I would be freaking out. This one in Norway, I'm a little more skeptical about. It is definitely interesting. We see the light in the background and then it starts moving. However, it is blinking, kind of like how our stuff blinks. And the way that it moves isn't necessarily, even though it was stationary then moved, it wasn't necessarily anomalous. This could have been a drone for a news station, just checking something out, and then just dipping away. Again, I love these plane shots, right? This one I looked into a little bit. I try to zoom in and find artifacts because a lot of the plane shots are false, right? But here you can actually see as he tries to zoom in, the light distorts because it's a real light in the sky. So as he zooms in, it's his aperture and the exposure on his phone literally cannot handle this light. So what is this super bright light? It almost looks like a star in the middle of the air as he's flying wherever the hell he's going to. I think this is a really good one. Very, it had a blur to it, but we saw the light clearly in the beginning, which I really enjoyed. And I like that he zoomed in and it gave us that feel of realism. Now, this one is on the news. It could be a tic-tac. Simply because, look, when we zoom in here, this is a news camera. If it were a plane, we would normally be able to see wings from this distance. It would also have like a flatter underbelly to it, which it didn't. I feel like that was a tic-tac. The news just happened to catch it. This we've all seen. This is that clear UFO UAP video that's been going around everywhere. Look at that thing. It almost looks like a slug as opposed to a flying saucer, if you will. Don't you see that? Do you guys not see a slug? Or am I crazy? I love this USA night vision one. This is another real clear one. Not necessarily the clear object, but if we see this thing moving here, watch it stop. Here is a complete shift and change in direction. It just turned to the right. Our aircrafts cannot do that. That change in direction is insane. That was definitely a UAP, and that was in space. Like they were stargazing and using their telescope to record the night sky and do a time lapse. So I think that is fantastic and fascinating. This is also wild. It reminds me of that first tube tic-tac we saw that did the sharp turn. Blows my mind. Here is the U.S. Navy Gimbal, but without all of the data, and actually just the image of what you would be seeing with your eyes while you were in the air. This is also, it's stunning. You can see the clouds moving and everything. The wind resistance does nothing to this thing. Here it does the tilt that we saw in the video. Look at it. Rotating on its axis. Wild. These UFOs and UAPs are here. And y'all, this isn't even all of the clearest videos. We have more to come. So I'm really excited for this little clear video series that I'm doing. Make sure that you like and subscribe. If you love UFO videos, ring the bell. But remember, this is a variety channel, so it's not only UFO videos. So keep that in mind when you ring that bell. This is another fascinating one. I love that it's actually giving us what we see with the radar. But then look, without the infrared, there's nothing in the sky. What the hell is going on? Smash that like and I'll see you next time.